Back to work. Hey everybody, so this is me, Jarrell Connor. I am here to talk to you a little bit about the Red R, the Revelations project. So today and this week, I'll be talking a little bit about how I'm getting back to work finally on this project. And the Revelation project has kind of been on a hiatus for about 2 months or so. It's crazy that it's been that long, but I had to take a quick break for health reasons, and I wasn't physically able to work on the book, and I just needed to take a little bit of a break from it and from a lot of things. So now this week I'm officially kind of jumping back into it like fully, and it's an exciting time to be back on the book and to be working on it, and excited about the things that are happening with the story and with the book this week. And some of the things I'll be working on, I'll outline a couple of those. Dallas Jenkins' father, I think it's Jerry Jenkins, he wrote the Left Behind series, one of the authors. He has like a series of 6 questions that you would ask about your characters to kind of better understand their backbone, their through line, their motivation for the story. I've already, like a few years ago, I created really comprehensive character sheets. So this is just kind of to accent that, to like ask certain questions that maybe I didn't ask for each character previously. So that's something I'm working on. Another thing is getting back into the manuscript. So there's the last draft of edits from my editor, Diane. And so I'm going through her writing and kind of cleaning up some of the script, some of the different things. And while I'm doing that, I'm also taking into account all the imagery that goes companion, marriage of the text and the image in this new kind of experimental way for me. I don't know how many people have seen it, but this is a new take on the original graphic novel that I did back in early 2000. Next, I'll actually be talking a little bit more about that, the origin of the project and where things kind of shifted a few years ago. So this is the first week of these vlogs, just to kind of document the process of everything that's going into the Revelations and keep everybody up to date. And I'll have them here for you guys, and hope you guys are blessed. I will see you in the next one. Reimagining the project. Hello guys, welcome. Just checking in, updates and things on the Revelations, last days kind of things. Wanted to talk a little bit about the reimagining of this project. This project started, the origin of it is back in 2000, back when I was a student at Otis College of Art and Design. It was my senior thesis and yada yada. We're going forward a few years, and the project evolved from like an animated film pitch to a graphic novel. And this is a series that came out in like 2003, 2004. The first book, the graphic novel, which is 100 pages, full color, illustration, did all the artwork and writing and all of that. So that was the origin of the project. Since then, it had gone through many incarnations. I had published several other books. The way that God kind of reimagined it, or helped me to kind of reimagine the vision for the project, started back in January of 2018. I spent a lot of time starting the year off in prayer and fasting, and I felt like I was changing the project a little bit. It was kind of shifting to a new format, a new kind of idea. The story was the same, the purpose was the same. I think it was the packaging or the vehicle, the format of the book and how it was produced was the thing that was different. All right, so let's hold it there for a moment. To talk a little bit about that, I wanted to go back in time, back to 2018, when I was still developing the look and aesthetic for this project. Back then, it was really coming from the place of, I felt like it needed a different look and a different package to be presented in, and going a little bit away from the traditional and digital art that I was doing at the time, and feeling more of like an old world, kind of lived in, archived artifacts kind of feeling for the book and for everything. It all started back then, and a major part of it was the packaging, because I had created probably about 20 to 30 of these white boxes that were basically media kits or press kits. Each was hand painted and hand wax sealed, and they included some of the old books, some of the merchandise, some of the new t-shirts and apparel, and samples of this new book, the previews of this new look Revelations book. So that was all sent out to a very select group of people, and this is where the new kind of look for everything was birthed out of this time. So this video is actually from 2018 when I was starting this process, and this is a never before seen B-roll and behind the scene footage.
Alright, hey guys, so this is a little bit behind the scenes. I'll be filming today. I have a lot of new stuff I'm doing with Red R and Revelations. Have new merchandise, have some media kits, and I'm doing a video that's going to be documenting the history of the whole entire project and everything I've been doing up to now. And it's been about 18 years coming, a little over that. Alright, so here's a little bit of the scene. The filming is really simple. Gonna be filming in this location. Got some cameras set up as in phones, and I'm not using this today, but a bunch of other things are going into it. So I got a couple hours to shoot, and we'll see how this all comes out.
Alright, now back to what I was talking about. It had gone from a traditional like graphic novel book like this one to something that wasn't like panels really carried solely by illustration or mainly by illustration. It became a thing where it was about the story, and my writing had evolved over the years, so I was leaning more on the writing and the novel side of it than just the straight illustration. But my aesthetic and the artwork and things that I brought to it were still important. So this new version of the book really encapsulated more of like experimental kind of approach, where it was handled like this was an artifact, an actual artifact of someone who was living in the end times, because this is the tribulation period is when this storyline takes place. Basically, I approach it as if when the Bible was being written, if there was a journal or a log that these characters, these real people, were recording all the events and newspaper clippings, and if they had newspapers back then, and like all these different things. And so it'd be kind of like a found art book documenting their process and their era and their time and what life was like. So this is kind of a peek to the future of what life is like for these characters living in the tribulation period, but we're seeing it on this side of the timeline. And I thought that was a really interesting take on it, and a way to explore all the culmination of all the art that I've done for this project, probably for about 20 years, and really over 20 years for some of the things, and putting that and pairing that side to side with this new robust, kind of more fleshed out version of the story, and old artwork, new artwork, and encompassing all that into one kind of project and one book, and telling the full story. And I think that a lot of people have responded to it, because I've heard people say that this is like the best, most complete version of this Revelations story that I've been able to tell. So I'm going on this journey and taking it step by step and seeing where God is kind of weaving into these new categories, using the tools and the format, the media itself, to tell a story better, more fully, more completely, in a way that really reaches an audience that they can understand and feel like they know what it feels like to be this character in this real future world. And I'm excited with this process and how it's kind of coming together and where it's going to go, because this was a left turn for me, so I didn't even know or expect this. So who knows what's next, what God has in store for the project. So we'll just wait and see, I guess, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you next time.